Welcome back, adventure seekers. Today we're heading down to Wayne National Forest and check out a little bit of the Great Ohio Adventure Trail.
We decided to leave on Friday, which we both had to work, so that gave us a late start, and we just headed straight to our campsite.
That was the best yet. That ain't even what I told you to say. We got down to the OHV trails at Door Run, which is the Athens district of Wayne National Forest.
Which is pretty much dirt bike, four-wheeler trails.
And it was our first time on the GS 2-up on anything like that, and it handled it really well.
It was pretty bumpy.
Yeah, especially if you're sitting on the back seat.
We finally made it to the secret campsite. Secret.
You're not allowed to know. There's something about getting to the campsite on your first night. Just feels kind of like away from everything. You get your firewood collected, which we found out Angie has, took that job on. It's a big help because I am not very good at letting other people do stuff. I kind of just do everything and then I complain that no one helped.
Yeah, or I do it and I don't do it right.
That sounds about right. It's all work in progress. But she jumped right in and I was not telling her to stop. And then we also had some really good food for the night because our son found some chicken of the woods mushrooms that we made a curry, stir fry.
We had chopped up all the vegetables that day and put them in a seasoning. And so they marinated in that seasoning.
That was one of the best camp meals I have had to date.
So after we got everything set up, we turned in for the night. And of course, you know, on the first night, you never sleep well. And even though we didn't sleep very well, you know, you always look forward to getting up and making your coffee. And
the best thing about camping to me is that cup of coffee in the morning.
And it always makes it a lot better too when the sun is shining.
And just sitting by the fire and drinking your coffee, there's just, I don't know, it is the perfect reset to start an exciting day out on something that I hadn't seen yet, the Great Ohio Adventure Trail that we're about to go explore.
Well, we've made it to the Monday Creek main corridor, trying to get over to State Route 278 to jump on the Great Ohio Adventure Trail, the GOAT. And we're just taking it easy. It is 8:37 in the morning. It's 57 degrees. Couldn't ask for much better. Sunshine all around. Stampy, we made it. And then you want to continue on to New Straitsville, you go that way. And it's a long, long way, like 25 miles trail to get there. Well, we're picking up the Great Ohio Adventure Trail on halfway through Section 5, just past Tinker's Cave, on what I believe is Sand Run Road still. These are perfect roads for GS 2-up riding.
So if you're wondering what the Great Ohio Adventure Trail is, it is a BDR style route that runs from southern Ohio all the way up to northern Ohio. You start on the river, you end up in one of the Great Lakes. And it is a route put together by Brad with Lost at Last Adventures. Today we are starting off on Section 5. Brad gave me an early copy of it. Brad might have had a road that was a little off. We should have known it when we had to open the first gate and go through.
I was a little nervous about that. I was like, oh, should we really be going through here? Is this someone's property or?
So it may have been, but there were no trespassing signs. There was no locks on the gates. There were tracks there from a dirt bike, a four-wheeler, and a bunch of horses. And we were in for it.
Getting into some rough stuff now on the GOAT.
So we went through that first gate and the terrain was pretty rocky and beat up, and that made me think even more, oh gosh, are we even on the right trail?
Yeah, it seemed sketchy. And then we went through another gate and another gate.
And another gate.
So, you know, at this point we're like, now we're a mile and a half down this road, and you know how it is, you don't want to turn around and go back. That's the worst thing, you got to get out.
It looks like it turns into a road again right down here.
But then we came up on the washout.
Starting to look a little less friendly here. That is a spillway of some sort. This is the path. This ain't happening.
It's recording that way too?
No, you have to turn it around if you want to record that way.
Oh. Oh my. You're gonna make it up that?
Pretty sure we were going to have to turn around and not be able to get through.
I agree, I thought so too. And then I walked down this little trail that goes down by the pond or whatever that was, and as you can see, it's definitely something that a GS should not attempt, but I was feeling pretty brave and thought, why not? Let's give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen?
All right, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into here.
Here he goes. It's saying the turn is pretty intense. Says he's about turned, made the turn, he just needs to get some traction to come up out of there. We made it. Woohoo!
Don't try that at home.
And we made it.
I wish I would have had the helmet cam on me also. I gave it to her. I had an extra camera. I could have given her the different one and got some better footage, but it is what it is. And we got out. It still wasn't quite over. We still got to that one spot where we had to go up, around, into the woods, and then about wiped out when we came down. When I hit that mud, the front end just about washed out.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest I've ever came to going down with you. Just found the only mud in Ohio. All right. Well, now we have got to get out of here. How big of a kick in the butt would it be if it's locked? Well, that was pretty interesting. Definitely the hardest thing we've done as a couple.
For sure. I was a little scared.
Whenever I got stuck on that turn, I was like, what did I just do? Because this bike is not going to get out of here. But we made it. Now we're looking at this, which is more normal. I don't know, we probably still got an hour for breakfast, but I'm ready for it. I'm starving.
Brunch.
Yeah, brunch. So we're doing a little detour. We found a lock gate on the goat, and the road we detoured on is pretty sweet. This is a super steep hill right now. We're just taking it out to the main road to Gloucester to get some breakfast. But that's what you got to do sometimes when you're out adventuring. Detours are a common theme.
How'd you miss that big thing? It's the healthiest you could get here.
It's even got like cutouts.
Burr Oak Reservoir was built in 1950. The body of water covers 664 acres. Burr Oak State Park offers an abundance of activities for the adventure seeker. Be on the lookout for white-tailed deer, ruffed grouse, box turtles, and wild turkey. The lake shore is inhabited with great blue herons and various waterfowl, as well as bald eagles. Miles of forested ridges and hollows comprise these foothills of the Appalachians. Situated in the valley of Sunday Creek, the Burr Oak area was inhabited by Native Americans and later by settlers who found an abundance of game animals and resources necessary for survival in the Ohio wilderness. Bordering the Wayne National Forest, the area offers many opportunities for hiking, including the Buckeye Trail and miles of backpacking trails on Wildcat Hollow. We highly recommend checking out the area.
Road coming out on Wildcat Hollow.
Taking a little stroll break. Supposedly there's some type of a lookout that we're going to try and check out.
I don't see any openings for lookouts. But I think this is still Wildcat Hollow Trail, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The hiking trail. So at this point, the day's going pretty smooth. And we're just cruising along, just trucking miles. We're about the farthest point away from our camp before we start to turn back, and we're getting ready to cross the Muskingum River.
Uh-oh. That's the way we're supposed to cross.
And lo and behold, the bridge is out. So then we're like, now what?
That might create one heck of a detour.
So we were at Guysport, and we had to go all the way up to Philo.
There's the lock. That's how you get in and out.
So one cool thing about detours is sometimes you go see cool places as well, and we headed back down south through the Blue Rock State Park.
So we decided to stop there and take a break. We hadn't had anything to eat since breakfast, so we were pretty hungry and we were pretty tired.
It was getting pretty tired. We were pretty hungry, and we decided that we might just want to make a beeline back to camp.
To come back and catch this view. Would you just look at it? It's so hazy. Man, you'd be able to see forever.
So all in all, on this trip, we learned that we can do harder things than we think we can. Yeah, I was pretty proud of ourselves.
And it always rains on the last day, no matter what. Story of my life.
And it's nice to have others making your route.
Thanks, Brad. And even though we were so tired on day 2 and wanting to quit, not having much sleep, we prevailed. It's the secondary fun factor that makes it all worth it. So until we meet again, I hope you are all living your best life out there, creating your own local route adventures.
things I do for you people.